Interview with Freddie Mercury in 1985 at Wembley in the week of Live Aid.
Why the rock stars, or why particularly yourself, do you feel it captured the imagination? Why?
It is like a sort of an immense effort, community effort. I mean, where all of us are doing it together. It makes it much, we've all done individual charity things in the past, I'm sure, but I think to actually make it such a big event that we're all taking part must mean something.
So were you asked by Bob Geldof?
Yes, I think I actually called Brian up and things. It was one of those things where it started with the Band Aid, right, the record and everything, and we weren't in town. I would have liked to have done that too, because I would like to participate. And then when the American one came out, that was superb. I think the way all those sort of stars gel together, and I think this is just it's sort of snowballed into this, which is very nice. And yeah, and I think we thought that if the next big thing for this year happening, we shouldn't be left out, because it's also being in the country at the right time. And the Queen seemed to sort of be in various parts of the globe, so this time I think we made an effort to say, okay, we better make sure that on this date we're sort of free. And yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Did you actually grow up in India?
No,
you didn't.
Well, yeah, I was. Well, yes, I went to boarding school from the when I was 7 till 15, and then I came back here. You can only sort of reflect poverty when you're here, if you know what I mean. If you're there for it's a norm. It really is. I mean, you expect beggars in the street, and to people actually living there, or if you're brought up there, you actually believe that's the way of life. It's like to us, it's very hard. So I think when I was a young baby, growing up over there, I just I was in an English boarding school, and it's like I had boundaries where I couldn't go. I looked upon that, and I just thought that was like that's the way India is.
Quite normal.
Yeah. But I think it's I think easier for people to reflect when they're in a different country, because to them that's their way of life.
Have you ever known poverty yourself? No.
Next.
You haven't, have you? But I mean, some people might say, how can a millionaire rock star identify with this?
Exactly, but you don't have to identify to give money or to help people. Why should you? In other words, your basic target said, I should be poor. If I was poor, then I couldn't help them in terms of money. Sometimes it is very black and white. But it's like, so some people have money and they want to sort of help the ones in need,
Yes.
And so I don't think you have to actually suffer to actually sort of have to go to Ethiopia and live like that for a while and to actually sort of benefit.
Do you think it is odd that the rock stars seem to achieve something that
I think
haven't done?
I think Bob Geldof has done a wonderful thing, because he sort of actually sparked it off. I'm sure we all had it in us to do that, but I mean, as we were doing it individually, fine, but it took someone like him to actually sort of drive, this is like a driving force, to actually sort of get us all to come together. And I think Bob Geldof actually having flown over and all that actually makes the people think that it is getting there. And I think we're going to do bits of Rhapsody and the ones. I think in this case, as far as I'm concerned, I think that's what you want, because basically you're not trying to put across your new material or anything. It's not, we're playing songs that I think people identify with and all that, and just make it a happy occasion, and it should be things that people sort of, it's not a promotional thing. There's a thing where you just have to sit back and you just say, well, what can you do, unless you suddenly think you're Mother Teresa, I become Mother Teresa of rock and roll, suddenly rushing out there. I suppose that's what Bob Geldof is, I guess, at the moment. Mother Teresa of rock and roll. But I mean, sometimes you do feel helpless, and it was one of those cases I can't, and I think this is my way of showing that I can do my bit.
Some people might say that perhaps we should be looking more to our home problems than Africa.
I don't really think that people should actually think in terms of, because we're British and helping Africa, as it were, that we should suddenly say, why don't we look at our own doorstep? I think something as large as this, it should be universal. I mean, we shouldn't sort of have any kind of, I don't think we should have any kind of parallels or whatever. We shouldn't be sort of looking at it in terms of us and them or whatever. It should be all. I think when people are starving or whatever, we're all humans, and so we should be looked upon as one. Having said that, immediately somebody's going to say, well, how do you know? I just don't think we should look upon it as, it doesn't mean we're forgetting our own. If we'd just done it for us, I think we'd have had it would have been so bad. Can you imagine?
Is it nice? Do you feel good that you have an opportunity to do something?
Very much so.
Like this?
Yeah.
Is one doing it out of gratitude for one's own lifestyle, good luck, or out of guilt?
Oh, I don't think I'd be doing it out of guilt, because I'll give you a wonderful answer to that, because even if I didn't do it, the poverty would still be there. So it's something that will always be there, to be honest, when you think about it. And all we can do to help is wonderful things. I'm doing it out of pride that I've been asked as well, that I can actually do something like that. And so basically I'm doing it out of feeling that, in one way, all the hard work that I've actually done over the years, in one way it's paid off, because they're actually asking me to do something that is something to be proud of, actually, that I'm actually in with all the biggies, and that I can do something worthwhile. Okay, to sing something and to be a part of is one thing, but to actually sing something that actually means it is an integral part of what's going on, and the song seems to sort of convey that anyway, without us even thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's what's magical, and I think that's going to make probably bring tears to my eyes, I tell you, when I do it. In the actual program, I've actually printed those words.
Oh, that's good.
So you'll have it there. It's amazing. The first line is, just look at all those hungry mouths we have to feed. Now, I mean, that's
perfect.
It is.
That's
And
perfect.
I can't believe, it's like if somebody actually was asked to write a song for this
Okay.
event, and we just seem to have it.
That's
Just look at
great.
those hungry mouths we have to feed.